Good morning, happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Megliaro with Jim Allender and Phil Hill for today's Thanksgiving Day game with East Brunswick and Old Bridge. And boys, a little chilly out here as we wrap up the 1995 season. But Phil, let's start with East Brunswick. They come in 5-3, a loss. They're coming off a loss against Woodbridge. Playing a real tough Old Bridge team today.
Yeah, playing a real tough Old Bridge team. The loss to Woodbridge was probably the only game where East Brunswick was outplayed. I think it was something like 23-8 or something like that.
Right.
But the fact of the matter, it's been an interesting season for them. Of course, they had the Bishop R game, which they should have won, and the Piscataway game, which they could have won.
Right.
And if you take those into consideration, it would have been a totally different season. They would have come in here with one loss and perhaps headed for the second round of the state playoffs. But it's been an exciting year. You just had to be here to see Marcus Boarding jumping on the pile of players after the Serval overtime game, something that's going to be memorable. But they have some very talented seniors. We saw when you give Marcus Boarding time to prepare, he's as tough as any coach in the country. And they beat Old Bridge last year. So the series, actually, they're ahead of the series with Old Bridge. It's 1-0.
That's right. That's right.
So they're going to look. The boys are up, from what I understand, and they're going to look to come in here and take it to Old Bridge today.
Jimmy, we look at Old Bridge. Old Bridge comes in with a loss as well. They come in having lost in the first round of the state playoffs against, I guess, Middletown South, was it?
Yes, 21-16.
21-16. They're still a tough team.
Oh, absolutely, and I think they are legitimately the favorite today. It's been a team that was also had an opportunity to do more than what it's shown. They lost to Piscataway by a close score. That was their only loss until they played Middletown South, which is one of the best teams in the state of New Jersey. And interestingly, Piscataway and Middletown South are going to play for the Central Jersey Group 4 title. So Old Bridge, a team that we've known from Madison Central days, simply because the coach Bob DeMarco is the coach of Old Bridge, and coming with him is the wishbone, which East Brunswick has to a certain extent, an E-bone. Now, their quarterback, Anthony Lanzafama, for most of the year was running the team, and then he was injured himself, and it turned out he had a ruptured spleen that required surgery. So he's out for the year, but along comes his sophomore brother, Danny, and this guy is only about 5'8", 135, but he has horses. It's kind of like I don't know, the Nebraska college situation, and you just put the people in and they get the job done, regardless of who they are. So they have some fine backs. Matt Atlack is a senior who does a wonderful job. He's fast, he's quick. Mark Marquette, who transferred from Arizona 2 years ago, has been banged up. He's had, I think, a hamstring problem, but I believe he's going to go today. So anyway, that's the story with Old Bridge. They got a big line, and I know we're going to have some seniors, parents introduced today. So
yeah, and the parents are already coming out. The seniors for the cheerleading team, I believe. It's East Brunswick Old Bridge. It's Thanksgiving, and we'll be back with the start of the action in just a moment. What you see on your screen, these are the senior high school cheerleaders, and the cheerleaders are coached by Mrs. Mangino and Ms. Guido. They are out there today with their parents. Jody Bronfman.
That's Linda's parents.
Okay, Linda's parent. Lucy and Bob are the parents of Captain Lisa DiAgostino. Gloria and Walter, the parents of Heather Danley. Judy and Bill, the parents of Captain Sue DiBarnidis. Maureen and Tony, parents of Anne-Marie Finello. Mary Lou and Charlie, parents of Cara Niglio. Joan and Arthur, parents of Marnie Oken. And Glynis and Steve, who are the parents of Lindsay Rich.
And of course, Linda is the parent of Jody Brofman. We want to get that straight.
Yeah. So the high school senior cheerleaders, you see them coming out, and now we'll have the players themselves. We're a little behind, so we'll try to catch up for you. Frank Sermonello, number 44, parent Jim and Nancy Sermonello. Anthony Coachman, number 31. You see Anthony walking out now, son of Mr. and Mrs. Coachman. Chris DeMarco, number 65, is escorted by Rich and Valerie DeMarco. Scott Feigenwinter, Mr. and Mrs. Feigenwinter. Steve Garriman, number 28, Tom and Penny Garriman. Angelo Gerbovac, escorted by Angelo and Maria Gerbovac. Mayan Hussaini, number 3, Mr. and Mrs. Hussaini. Dave Kilkenny, number 19, should be entering the picture soon. And he's escorted by Hansford and Suzette Kilkenny. Justin Klein, number 10, walking out with Jay Klein. Jimmy Kolakowski, number 11, Mike and Joan Kolakowski. And he will be followed by number 20, Matt Kwan, Mr. and Mrs. Kwan. Next will be Eric Malecki, number 71, escorted by Stan and Marlene Malecki. Number 89 is Ed Molina, with his parents, Ed and Yolanda Molina. Following Ed is number 77, Jim Oliver, and his parents, Jim and Pat Oliver. Next up will be number 53, and that is Pete Pizzo, escorted by Mr. and Mrs. Pizzo.
Good job catching up, John.
Next there is Kurt Shramovich, number 57, escorted by Paul and Sandy Shramovich. Number 23 is Bob Van Wangeneen, and his mom and dad are Ken and June Van Wangeneen. Number 7, Rich Whalen, escorted by Ellen and Rich Whalen. And number 81, Kevin Wolf, escorted by his parents, David and Regina Wolf. And there they are, the seniors for this year's football and cheerleading squads. We thank them all for their efforts and for the pleasures they provided us this past year. And we're going to just take a short break before the kickoff, and we'll be back with the start of the action. East Brunswick Old Bridge, Thanksgiving Day here at East Brunswick High. Well, we welcome you back to the start of the East Brunswick Old Bridge Thanksgiving Day game as we close out our 1995 high school season. This is the Battle of Route 18, as they call it, and as Phil mentioned, East Brunswick shares the edge, I guess, 1-0.
You know, this is interesting. On the other side of the field, you see a lot of people for Old Bridge. This is the first time that they have ventured from the confines of Lombardi Field, where we were last year. Used to be just Cedar Ridge and Madison Central playing each other on that field. They have to actually travel. For East Brunswick, they used to have a rivalry. I don't know if you guys remember, with Colonia.
That's right.
And I still maintain the best high school game I ever saw was played on Thanksgiving Day at Colonia in 1984, excuse me.
Right. Steve Hughes.
Yeah, Steve Hughes engineered a comeback with a key interception by a guy by the name of Ken Pruss. You guys remember him?
Kenny Pruss, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, and it was a tremendous game. It kept East Brunswick's undefeated season going until they ran into a team by the name of J.P. Stevens in the Central Jersey Group 4 finals that year. You guys always remember that one. That was the infamous game where East Brunswick came back, had a chance to win it in the last couple of seconds, and Hughes launched a pass into the end zone to Derek Rowe,
right.
And it just didn't happen for the senior. And I'll tell you what, we still remember that game, huh?
We were talking about that the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why we have a moment, and we see that East Brunswick and the captains for both East Brunswick and Old Bridge out in the center of the field. I do want to congratulate some other champions here at East Brunswick High School. The boys soccer team won the division in their conference under Dan Hastings. The girls soccer, what more can you say about that phenomenal group of people? Under Lou Cosa, they won the division and the conference. The boys cross country team won Central Jersey Group 4.
Very nice achievement there.
Right. The girls cross country team won their division. The field hockey team, Marcia Wadaby won the Marcia Wadaby tournament.
Yeah.
And the girls tennis team were division and conference champs. So another outstanding year for the Bears this fall.
I want to say something about the coaches of those respective teams. Dan Hastings, you mentioned him as the boys soccer coach. Tremendous job this year. Lou Cosa, we can't say enough about what he's done as far as the girls soccer is concerned. Boys cross country, it was Rick Murray. Girls cross country, I believe that was Rick Horvath. Field hockey, Cindy Todoroff. Girls tennis, I'm drawing a blank. Lisa Scarano. Excuse me.
Okay, guys, it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving morning here. We're here for football. Let's see a little football here.
We're going to do it as Bettis gets ready to kick it off for the Bears. Old Bridge in the visitors' white.
And back
deep for Old Bridge is number 4. That's Marquette.
Yeah,
and
he's good.
Atlack, number 27. Kick is off. This is going to be caught by one of the up men. This is Pisa, and he gets close to the 30, and that's where the Old Bridge team will take it. The Knights, 1st and 10.
So a little sophomore by the name of Lanza Fama. Danny, not a heartbeat was missed as he came in and replaced his brother. And you watch this Old Bridge Wishbone. They work on a tempo that will leave the defense breathless.
Well, it's methodical, and we'll see how the Bears defense will be tested.
No huddle either.
Very early.
Lanza Fama brings him out, calling signals at the line. Marquette right behind him. That's Marquette with the ball off the left side. He'll pick up maybe 2.
And Jim, you pointed out Old Bridge, they have a slew of running backs, no doubt interchangeable backs that can come in there. Of course, everything, as we point out with the wishbone, starts with the fullback.
And here's your no huddle again.
They're going to say he picked up 3, so it's 2nd and 7 from the Old Bridge 31-yard line. Lanza Fama gives it off again to Marquette.
Ooh!
And he's dropped in the backfield.
Right, he's back.
Just a super job by the Bear defense there. Number of players coming up.
Now the team is fired up, no doubt about it. I think they all agree that they didn't play their best game against Woodbridge, and they really want to redeem themselves today. There's a lot of quality linemen that are going to be playing their last game today.
Me and Husani and Kolakowski.
Loss of 2 makes it 3rd and 9 from their 30-yard line. Again, no huddle. Calling the plays at the line is Lanza Fama. We got a flag motion. Lanza Fama keeps it, goes off the right side. And he's going to be short of the 1st down, but the flag is going to bring the Old Bridge team back. They're going to have a motion penalty called against them.
Well, it could bring up a 4th down, but I think this is dangerous territory. Borden probably wants them to still not take. Well, we're going to see here. If I know Bob DeMarco, the Old Bridge coach, he would go for it on this.
There's procedure called against Old Bridge.
They're going to take it, sure.
And Old Bridge coming out very quick, not going to huddle, not giving the Bears the time to set up in their defense. Old Bridge traditionally comes out in the wishbone formation. They've been switching it up sometimes, trying to catch the Bears off balance. So far, the Bears have done a pretty good job.
Now, the danger with this, John, is that this is an explosive offense. So even though it's 3rd and 13, East Brunswick really has to watch its outside and the middle.
Lanza Fama calling signals. They keep it on the ground. He still has it left side, and he's pulled down.
Good tackle.
As he crosses the 30-yard line.
Is that German?
That's German, right? Number 28.
The senior playing his last game.
Very solid tackle.
Headed to Notre Dame next year. Not to play football, but nonetheless.
You never heard of Marty?
You mean Rudy?
Rudy. Marty. Rudy. Okay.
No, we never heard of Marty. We did hear of Rudy, though.
All right, all right.
All right, 4th down for the Knights. They'll punt it away. Back deep for East Brunswick is Kilkenny and Whalen. Good snap. Atlack boots it away. Good kick. Whalen will field it at the 32-yard line. Across the 35 to the 40. And Whalen, as he crosses the 45-yard line, will give East Brunswick great field position.
A nice job by Whalen there, doing a reverse spin on there and picking up about 10 yards.
Right. Now, we should mention that Frank Sermonello is out of this game. The starting fullback for East Brunswick all year has an infected knee. Phil?
I'll tell you, it really hurts. The senior year, Frank wanted a big year. I don't think he's had the type of year that he wanted, just a different team. And to come to your final game and not be able to play it, you have to feel a little disheartened for the young man.
1st and 10 from their own 46. Kilkenny keeps, pitches back. Quan with the ball gets to the outside.
Nice yards.
And Quan crosses midfield into the Knight territory.
So it looks like Gehrman is in back place of Sermonello.
And you know, some teams just have no fear against other teams, and this East Brunswick team, as they showed last year, you know, when everybody's talking about Old Bridge, Cedar Ridge, Madison Central combining, and fearing what they could be, East Brunswick came in and took it to them. And they come right out here defensively, stopped them the first go-round, and a near first down on this first offensive series. So they're taking it right to Old Bridge.
They're going to measure. See if Quan picked up the first down. He's short, so it'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, it gives Marcus Borden a number of options. He could play around with this, go for the pass. Something that East Brunswick was doing rather successfully in the 4th quarter of that Woodbridge game, where that quick drop pass, Phil, was finding, Dave Kilkenny was finding Whalen. But this looks to be like a more conservative call right now.
2nd and 1 from the Old Bridge 44-yard line. First offensive series for East Brunswick. We have no score, 8:57 showing on the clock here in the first quarter. Kilkenny puts Whalen in motion. Little counter inside. Quan fumbles the ball, and Old Bridge recovers.
Wow.
Just didn't connect on that that handoff.
And Ryan Hoey coming up with a big fumble recovery for Old Bridge.
Ryan Hoey, one of the quality players for the Knights. A quality wrestler, but good linebacker this year as well.
Okay, sort of surprised that not a straight dive right there. We're talking about picking up 1 yard there. Sort of a counter, and they, as you saw, the turnover.
1st and 10 for Old Bridge on their own 44. On the turnover, they have it. Lanzafama, again, no huddle offense. Atlack has yet to touch the ball. He's got it this time, right up the middle. Wow. Big hole. Atlack still going as he gets into East Brunswick territory. Stopped at the 36-yard line.
And
first down, Old Bridge.
And the name Matt Atlack seems like he's been there about 15 years. So we've been calling Atlack for a number of years. He's been a fine running back. And once again, they do not huddle, John.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the East Brunswick 37. Straight handoff this time to number 4. That's Marquette.
Just nothing.
And again, Old Bridge trying to keep the Bears off balance, coming up with different formations.
Bettis, number 51.
Bears are prepared.
They're saying he got a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 37-yard line. Lanzafama keeps, pitches back. Ball is loose. Fumble East Brunswick. Still loose. Let's see.
I think the Bears have
it. And they do. East Brunswick comes up with the recovery.
Well, who was the guy that tackled Lanzafama? Because that's the one that caused the fumble. Never was really to get that pitch off.
Okay.
So both teams now with turnovers. East Brunswick coming up with this one.
You had Kolakowski and Fagenwinter there. I'm not sure who picked it up, but the Bears do have the ball.
1st and 10 for East Brunswick at their own 43.
By the way, Eric Malecki is in at center again. He's been out with illness for a while, but it looks like he's ready to play today.
Kilkenny drops straight back, being pressured, rolls to his left, puts it up in the air. He's got Whalen wide open, and Whalen crosses the 40.
I'll tell you, just a fine effort by Kilkenny there. As you pointed out, John, rolling to his left, avoiding would-be tacklers, and getting off a beautiful pass to Whalen.
And I'll tell you what, there's a nice crowd here today. I was a little concerned there was going to be a lot of people, but boy, they're coming out now.
The completion puts the ball in Old Bridge territory. It'll be 1st and 10 East Brunswick from the Old Bridge 37. No score in the game. First quarter action as Kilkenny puts Whalen in motion. Fakes to Whalen, looks over the middle of the pass, has some time, looks, finally puts it up down the middle. Ball is knocked up in the air and intercepted.
Just a little too soft on that pass.
I'll tell you, it's just hung up a little. You're right, Jim. A little bit too much. Charlie Amato coming up with the big interception for
looking for Molino. The ball is tipped in the air and intercepted by Old Bridge.
Well, Molino was definitely open, but if Kilkenny had been able to direct that ball with a little bit more velocity, then they wouldn't have had enough time to tip the ball.
Well, what is happening? He's rolling out, didn't have any time to really to set his feet, threw it with nothing but arm there, and it hung up a little bit, and as you saw, the interception.
3 possessions, 3 turnovers.
First down for Old Bridge at their own 21. Inside handoff to Atlack. He gets to the 25.
And Matt Atlack, the 5'11", 195-pound senior, as I said, it looks like he's been there forever. As they hurry up once again.
Lanzafama calling signals. Gives it to the second man through. That's Atlack. And Atlack is close to the first down. I think he's got it.
Okay, and Bobby Uvega's getting in Atlack's way, the tight end blocking there. Otherwise, he might have picked up some extra yardage.
They might have to measure. Oh, nope, they're going to give it to him. Okay.
First down, Old Bridge.
That was close.
Old Bridge running players in and out from the sideline. They go with the no huddle.
This is Panapinto who's just come in.
Lanzafamo turns, gives it to Atlack again up the middle. There's a hole as he crosses the 40 to the 42.
It's a tough job for the East Brunswick defense, Phil. They really, in order to succeed, to get them on the line, they have to commit. And once they get past that line of scrimmage, it's really open season for a lot of these guys.
Pickup of about 8 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 2 from the 41-yard line. 5:35 showing first quarter, no score. East Brunswick Old Bridge. Atlack again fights his way for the first down.
So it seems that Old Bridge is getting it in gear right now.
Seems to be getting in gear. Gehrman coming up for the tackle there. And again, Old Bridge is what they want to do is keep the Bears off balance, and they seem to have it cranking up right now. Sophomore Lanzafamo doing a pretty nice job at the throttle.
1st and 10 Old Bridge from their own 46-yard line. Lanzafamo hands off inside. That time to number 4, Marquette.
Much.
He loses about a yard, so it'll bring up 2nd and 11. And you might wonder about a pass, but Old Bridge has always stayed true to the wishbone. You won't see they won't see much passing. They'll continue to stay with the wishbone and try to just run it down the field.
Marquette once again gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's good effort.
Fine job by the Bear defense, the interior line there.
Scott Feigenwinter was in on that. Angela Gerva back.
And we have a flag on the play.
What's this all about?
Personal foul against East Brunswick.
Oh, that's tough.
Makes the call.
That's tough. East Brunswick had Old Bridge in a 3rd and long situation. And now they're going to get an automatic first down.
Did you see what happened, Jim?
Did not.
I didn't see it. I think it was in the pile. So that puts the ball down in East Brunswick's 37-yard line. 1st and 10, Old Bridge.
Well, the way they're talking to the to the player, it looks like Feigenwinter may have been hit with that one.
Atlack once again high steps over one tackler and picks up about 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball resting at the East Brunswick 33-yard line.
Remember, this is a sophomore quarterback. He shows a lot of poise out there.
Marquette with the ball. Nowhere to go this time. Hops on the tackle. Stops him at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, Scott Hops with support from Matt Kwan there.
So here's your 3rd and long again.
And it's a big down here. And time is running, fellas.
Clock down to 3:28. First quarter, no score. Old Bridge on the move. They have it 3rd and 6 from the East Brunswick 33.
They got him. Oh, how did he get out of that? How did he get away from that?
Well, he didn't get far, and he's short of the first, so it'll bring up 4th and about 4.
Okay, Chris Bettis coming up to make a good tackle there. You're right, Dan Lanzafamo somehow ducked under a would-be tackler and picked up about 3 yards.
They're going to go for it, obviously. Lanzafamo has Marquette in the backfield. He'll roll to his left.
Oh,
He's got the running room. He's got the first down as he gets close to the 25-yard line.
I'll tell you, got a young fellow there.
Really is.
Just turned it up, knew he's going to take the hit, put his head down, and got that all-important first down.
Well, the blockers for the Knights were out there, that's for sure.
They cleared out that whole left side.
Here they go again.
Old Bridge, 1st and 10 from the East Brunswick 25.
Phil, this quarterback's listed at 135 pounds.
Wow.
He's got it again, pitches it back to Marquette. Marquette being pressured. Kilkenny misses him, and he steps out of bounds.
And Marquette showing fine balance, making 2 would-be tacklers miss and picking up yardage.
Well, Kilkenny didn't make the tackle, but he did enough to cause Marquette to go out of bounds, and that's doing the job.
Gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock winding down, 2:25 showing. Atlack falls forward for a couple. Bring up 3rd down.
Gurman and Gerbervac coming up to make the tackle there.
Right.
And
Bettis was in there as well.
you feel
Serapin is over top of center.
And the Bears have not let them break away for the big play there. They're picking up short yardage, but moving down the field.
3rd and 7. Ball spotted at the East Brunswick 22. Atlack in motion. That's Marquette with the call.
Ooh.
And he'll be short of the 1st down, bring up 4th and about a long 2.
Yeah, he just has to get inside the 15 to get the 1st down, so it'll be another 4th down situation.
And Whalen riding him down like a bull there.
And a big play right now.
Same formation as they ran the last time they had 4th down. Same play, actually.
It is the same play.
Lanzafama turns the corners, got the 1st down, fumbles the ball.
Oh, can't advance the ball.
You can't advance it.
Can't advance it. So it's going to be a 1st down.
Oh, they're saying touchdown.
Wait a minute. Can you advance it?
That's in the pros. In the pros, you can't fumble forward. I think high school it may be a little different.
Well, apparently so.
Well,
they're calling it a touchdown.
I believe Atlack was the one that was on top of that ball.
What happened, Kilkenny came up and stripped Lanzafama from the ball there. It bounded forward and went into the end zone, and Old Bridge player picked it up for a touchdown. If this was the pros, they wouldn't allow it, but in high school, you can.
It is a number 22 for Old Bridge that recovered that. That's Bobby Uvegas. He is a 5'11", 165-pound senior.
And Jimmy, I'm not going to try to pronounce this young man's name, the kicker, number 80. Chris Anthopoulos. Anyway, the kick is up and wide, I believe.
Yeah,
no good. So 6-0 is our score. Old Bridge on top.
Well,
with 1:12 remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Well, twice during that drive, Old Bridge was faced with a 4th down situation, and they were able to convert both times. The second time being the fumble by Lanzafama that ended in the end zone, and Uvegas was on top of it. So they get the touchdown with 1:12 left.
And, you know, what we come to expect from Old Bridge, being rather methodical, no really big plays, just picking up 4 and 5 yards at a clip there and moving down the field. And as you said, they got a break when they fumbled that ball to be able to recover it. And they're ahead right now 6-0. And a fast-moving quarter.
As it should be if both teams are oriented to the ground. East Brunswick with the E-bone. Old Bridge with the wishbone. And what day is it today?
Thanksgiving.
Turkey Day.
East Brunswick set to receive the kickoff. Back deep is Kilkenny, along with Whalen and Quan. Bears trailing 6-0, 1:12 remaining. This will be Whalen. He'll field it at his 18-yard line. He's got some running room up the middle.
Wow.
Whalen, great return as he crosses the 40 to the 42.
Yeah, he's been good on run backs.
Well, Rich Whalen has turned into an all-purpose player. As I said before, we knew he was a great defensive player, and this year put in for offense, and he's really done the job. And one of the few players that does not come off the field.
And we will get an opportunity to watch him this winter, Phil, when he gets to the Hardwoods.
That's for sure.
Plays starting guard for the East Brunswick basketball team.
1st and 10 East Brunswick from the 42, their own 42. 48 seconds showing on the clock. 1st quarter action. Kilkenny puts Whalen in motion. Gives inside to Quan. And Quan will pick up 2.
I wonder if that's going to do it for the 1st quarter.
I'm sorry, that was Gehrman on the carry. Clock running down to 23 seconds. 2nd and 8. 10-second showing from their own 43.
Ooh.
And Oliver jumps offside.
Well, I think that's going to do it for the quarter.
So that'll move him back 5 yards. Bring up 2nd and 13. Ball now spotted at the East Brunswick 38-yard line.
Yeah, they're just going to run this quarter out now.
And that'll do it. So at the end of 1 here at East Brunswick High School, the Bears trail 6-0.
East Brunswick really did a decent job in containing that Old Bridge offense. They're relentless, they are. That wishbone causes the defense to do a lot of guessing, and East Brunswick, for the most part, did an adequate job. They didn't allow any breakaways, which Old Bridge is famous for, Phil.
Well, you had to feel Old Bridge came in here, had to be very hungry, coming off a very disappointing loss to Middletown South. A lot of people have said Old Bridge really outplayed them and just didn't win the game. So this is their championship. They'd like to close out the season with a big-time victory, and it will be a big-time victory for whichever team wins. So not surprising that they've come in as well prepared as they are. But you're right, the Bears sort of for a while bend but did not break, did not give up the big play, but Old Bridge did what they had to do.
Well, it looks like the sun is starting to come out just a bit, brighten up the field. And a very chilly Thanksgiving. Nothing compares, though, to last year in Old Bridge, how cold it was there. When play resumes, it'll be the start of the 2nd quarter. The Bears will have it 2nd and 13 from their own 38.
And you got to wonder if the Bears are going to start passing on Old Bridge. After all, the damage that was done to the Old Bridge defense was done by passing by Middletown South. So you gotta figure maybe you might see the ball going to the air somewhat.
And Kilkenny has had some relatively good success throwing already.
Kilkenny keeps, rolls left, and it gets nailed.
I'll tell you.
And loses more yardage, so it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Bears.
And 32,
Pat Shanks coming up to make the tackle, but you're right, Kilkenny looking like he's about to pitch the ball, fortunately held on to it.
So this is a 3rd and long, John.
3rd and 15.
This is not where East Brunswick wants to be as far as a passing situation, because it's too predictable. Could be a problem.
Kilkenny rolls to his left, looks, being pressured. Still on his feet.
Wow.
He's gonna take it himself.
Wow.
Crosses the 40.
I'll tell you, just a fine effort. Donald Petit, number 44, coming in for Old Bridge, thought he had Kilkenny, and Kilkenny just stepped out of it, as you saw, and picked up some good yardage. A fine effort by David.
But it'll bring up 4th and about 8.
So it looks like Atlack and Marquette are going to be deep.
Kilkenny is the punter.
And he is a good one, by the way. He has had an excellent year punting the ball.
So the Bears will punt it away. They trail 6-0.
Wind is really not a factor today.
There's somebody coming out.
Quan now, a little late coming out. Good snap. Kilkenny gets off a good kick. Atlack will field it at his 24-yard line.
Ooh.
Well,
spins his way to the 30.
You're thinking the same thing as me, Phil.
Now Kolakowski coming up with a big tackle right there.
But East Brunswick blocker coming down. I don't know if he hit him on the side or what. Could have been a clip call.
Could have been, but got the liberal officials here, and Thanksgiving, they're going to let them play.
And right away, Old Bridge comes out, no huddle. 1st and 10 from their own 30. Lanzafama gives it to Atlack right up the middle.
Oh, they're surging forward now.
That's a counter there. And
Lanzafama gets to the 35, picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Phil, it seems to me that with the size of Lanzafama, 135 in the program, you really want to bang him as much as possible. See if you can rack him up.
Well, if they have the opportunity, they're going to, regardless of his size, they're going to try to rack him. But I hear what you're saying.
Lanzafama gives it to Atlack one more time, slashes off the right side, picks up another 2 or 3.
And Obridge has gone to the power running game. That's it, going to slam it at you.
Well, I think they have some rather large size offensive linemen there. Dennis Esser being one of them.
Look at the size of their squad as you look across on just sheer numbers. We have a timeout. One of the players is down for Old Bridge.
Should mention a couple of the Old Bridge players. Dan Hennessy is a 6'3", 225-pound lineman.
That's Atlack that's down.
Is it?
Yes,
Billy
it is.
Lawton is a 6'3", 245-pound senior guard. So you can see they have some good size on that line. The center is Charlie Jenks, 6'1", 220.
And down right now, Matt Atlack, the 5'11", 195-pound senior, and we've talked about him enough today, but he's a guy that's been performing for them for the last 3 years, and
well, he's been bothered by a bad ankle all season long, Phil.
he appeared to grab his hamstring.
Yeah,
Jim.
that's another problem too.
Yeah.
He's been having to battle all along.
Well, he does walk off the field. And so Old Bridge will be facing a 3rd and 2 from their own 38-yard line. They lead 6-0 with 9:15 showing on the clock before halftime.
It's like Marquette's the only deep back. Look at this lineup here.
That's that formation they ran on the 2 4th down plays.
Oh,
And Marquette
He
gets
stopped.
nailed right at the line of scrimmage.
decision time now for East Brunswick.
And Kilkenny comes away with the ball, but they're going to say the play was dead.
I'll tell you, Serapin doing a nice job right there, blocking things up.
What do you do, Phil? 4th and about 2 at the 40. Are they going for it?
No.
They are.
I guess they do. Wow.
No hesitation, 4th and 2.
They may try to pull him off, gentlemen.
They're calling the play.
They may try to pull him off.
Full house backfield, that wishbone backfield. Quick pitch, they're going to do the quick kick.
And caught East Brunswick.
And they did catch East Brunswick.
Whoa,
That ball's
wow.
got some roll.
That's a great kick.
And that ball's inside the 5-yard line to the 4.
I'll tell you, fine call. And
Bears were not prepared for it.
Neither were we. The fact of the matter is they executed it perfectly, Jim. Nice play.
It really was perfect execution. And that puts the Bears in a deep hole now. So give Shanks a lot of credit for that excellent kick.
Well, we should point out, too, we've watched this over the years. Coach DeMarco is not going to get out-coached by many other teams.
He's a fine coach, no doubt about it. His record speaks for itself in championships. But Borden has had his way at times with DeMarco. No.
So from their own 3-yard line, they have it 1st and 10. Kilkenny gives to Quan, left side. Quan picks up a couple, gets across the 5 to maybe the 6-yard line.
East Brunswick purposely being conservative here, trying not to give it any turnover. So Quan gets some good yards, 4 yards there.
Once again, Ryan Hoey leading the charge for Old Bridge.
They said Quan picked up 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 6. 7:40 remaining, 2nd quarter. Bears trailing 6-0. Kilkenny gives it inside to Whalen. Whalen still on his feet, spins about to the 8.
And once again, Ryan Hoey on the tackle.
So he gets what, 2?
3rd and 5.
And I'll tell you, it should be interesting right here with the call, I'll tell you.
No, I don't think they're going to do anything too extravagant, Phil.
Right.
6-0 game right here. Still early.
From their own 9, 3rd and 5. Kilkenny goes down the line, still has it, falls forward.
And he swarmed under.
And they'll bring up 4th down, and they'll punt from their end zone.
Well,
and Dennis Iser, Jim, you know about him. You get to see some of those games. Is he a Division I player?
that's a possibility.
Yeah,
The last Division I player for Old Bridge is Jack McKiernan, who is now at Rutgers and has turned out to be a good one. Dennis Esser certainly has the size.
Yeah, we remember him from last year, and he seems a number of years he's been doing a job.
Esser is 6 foot 230, but he has a lot of quickness in his feet, and that's desirable for a Division I football player.
Kilkenny back to punt for East Brunswick, standing in his own end zone. Gets off a good kick.
That's going to be a good kick because it's going to bounce.
And it
didn't. Well,
They're going to say it's down. Up.
Okay, Kolakowski doing a good job keeping the ball away from his body.
Right.
By the way, Atlack is back in. So Old Bridge will have excellent field position as they take over 1st and 10.
And I tell you, as
6:05 rather remaining on the clock here before halftime. The Bears trailing 6-0. Old Bridge has the ball 1st and 10 from the East Brunswick 36-yard line. Lanzafama is the quarterback, calling the signals. No huddle offense. Marquette is the sole running back. And it's Marquette straight up. And he'll pick up 2.
I'll tell you who's been doing a nice job out there for Old Bridge is Hennessy, number 74, that left side tackle. He has been driving forward.
Second and 3. Ball now at the East Brunswick 28-yard line.
See Adam Goldstein, number 67. He's in.
Lanzafama right down the line. He still has it. Puts his head down.
Good coverage.
And he gets inside the 25.
And you got Hops, Fagenwinter, Whalen, and Kolakowski coming up for the tackle.
So it'll bring up 3rd and about 4.
And I tell you, if you're the Bears, you really want to stop them right here. You stop them right here, get control of the ball again, and
Phil, I'll tell you one thing.
try to get something.
Looking at Old Bridge, I've been watching, rather reading the names off, and other than Lanzafama, everybody on that team is a senior.
That's true.
So,
but both their JV team and their freshman team, I believe, are undefeated,
okay.
Jim. So
it's a matter of
they got,
reloading, huh?
They got stock.
Yes.
3rd and let's call it a long 2 from the 24-yard line. Atlack with the ball.
Ooh.
Puts his head down, gets to the 20.
I think he probably fell forward and got the 1st down.
It's going to be close.
Okay, Gurman and Whalen coming up, and you're right. Atlack put his shoulder down to pick up an extra yard there.
And who's getting up slow for the Bears?
They're
Whalen.
going to measure.
I'll tell you, if anybody has an excuse to be fatigued, it's Richie Whalen.
No,
This guy has, I don't think he's left the field the entire season.
You're right about that. We talked about it. And
Special teams, offense, defense.
and he met Atlack shoulder to shoulder there.
yeah.
And he's smarting right now.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks like a little short.
Pull that chain. They are short.
No, they're still talking about it.
By a fraction.
Yeah, a couple inches. Doesn't matter. Old Bridge is going to go at this part of the field. So
another
4th and inches. And wishbone backfield now in place. Lanzafama turns, keeps himself, falls, and I think he's short.
I don't know if he got it.
East Brunswick guys are pointing to the others this way. Let's see what the referee does.
Appeared to be a broken play, Jim. Or he turned and tried to pick it up himself, and East Brunswick was right there.
I don't think they got it.
They're going to measure, my guess. Let's see.
That fumble probably was enough to cause.
Bring the chains across.
Well, it wasn't so much a fumble as a misstep, Jim. He turned and looked like he was looking to give it to somebody and turned it up himself.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he got this, just by a nose.
If you're going to keep it, you don't turn all the way around. You just take a step sideways, then move forward. You don't do a full reverse.
He's short. He lost
some. Done a job, I tell you.
So this is the first time that Old Bridge does not convert a 4th down, and really needed by the Bears at that juncture. Good job on their part to keep Lanzafama from inching forward, even though it looked like a busted play, Phil.
It was no doubt about it. It's either a busted play or a stupid play. As I said, if it's going to be the quarterback, he can take a step to the side and lunge for it. You don't turn all the way around. He looked to turn around to hand it off, nobody there, and then he kept it. But here's where the Bears have to take advantage of. It's an opportunity. They want to move that ball down the field and get something right here.
From their own 21, 1st and 10, Quan. He'll pick up maybe 1 or 2, the most.
Really finding it difficult to maneuver around this Old Bridge defense.
And once again, Pat Shanks coming up with the tackle. They just got a good, solid defense. When they have players like Esser and a kid like Donald Petit on defense who could play anywhere, both offensively and defensively, it tells you something about their defense.
2nd and 8 from the 23. Kilkenny keeps, rolls right.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Whalen picks it up and gets slammed.
Well, somebody came around. I think that was Atlack that wrapped his arms around Kilkenny and forced that ball out.
And the Bears fortunate to get the recovery. Whalen right there, and he was slammed down by several players once he got it. But the Bears did recover it.
And Old Bridge calls timeout, their first.
And it's not a bad timeout because there's 3:43 on the clock.
And they're thinking field position. They're thinking if we hold them here, they punt, we'll still have decent field position.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 for the Bears from their own 17. 3:43 showing on the clock before halftime. East Brunswick's trailing 6-0.
And you see Marcus Borden out on the field there right now, coming in with the play for his team there. And he knows how important this series is right here. He wants to settle them down, make sure they're in control, and make sure that they pick up something here if they can. And as we said before, it depends how you look at it. It's been a pretty good year, minus a few plays and certainly a few fumbles. And this will be a year when they'll think back to fumbles. There's been an awful lot of fumbles.
Here we go, 3rd and 11. East Brunswick puts 2 receivers wide right, Wolf and Kolakowski. Quan goes in motion. Kilkenny rolls to his left.
It's just nothing there. Nothing
taken down at the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, wow. And I'll tell you, Ryan Hoyt, a linebacker, is just doing what a linebacker should. He's just about everywhere, both sides of the field. And I'll tell you, gentlemen, as you look at Kilkenny go back to punt, you had to see the Josh Miller walked into the game there, just fresh off a championship in the Canadian League for the Baltimore, what are they? Stallions.
Kilkenny to punt. Atlack and Marquette are back deep. Kilkenny with a good punt. This will be Atlack. Whoa. He drops the ball. Marquette recovers.
He's down.
But again, Old Bridge will have good field position at the East Brunswick 45-yard line. They have 2:49 to work with.
I have a question, Phil. What's going to happen to the Baltimore Stallions now that the Cleveland Browns are going to become the Baltimore Browns / Bengals, or whatever?
If you believe it's from famine to feast, Baltimore is going to have 2 teams from what I understand.
Well, I know that Josh is off his season, is really looking to get another opportunity to try out for the National Football League. Off his season, he very well should.
From the 44, Atlack off the right side, has a big hole, still on his feet. He's got the first down.
As I tell you, Kilkenny doesn't make that tackle, he's gone.
It looks like, is Old Bridge going to use another timeout? Probably not. Still a lot of time.
Clock stops with the first down. 2:32 showing. Old Bridge has used 1 timeout. They have 2 remaining. 1st and 10 from the East Brunswick 31. Atlack again.
Chris Bettis
side to 30.
Boy, are they moving or what?
They are. Chris Bettis coming up to make the tackle there.
East Brunswick really now. This is a crucial part of the game right now. They really don't want to fall behind by more than a touchdown.
Marquette right up the middle. Wow. He's gone.
Wait, there's a flag.
And there is a flag. So just hold up for a minute here.
They're calling it against the East Brunswick players are signaling it's against Old Bridge.
And it's
holding. So this is a double whammy. Not only is the touchdown disallowed, but it brings it back 10 yards.
I'll tell you, a quick hit by Marquette going straight up the middle there. But as you point out, there is a hold.
Wonder why he got through there so easy.
And the Bears can breathe a sigh of relief.
Temporarily. You can see that. See, that's the offense that I'm used to seeing with Old Bridge. That quick hitting, opening.
1:59 showing on the clock. The penalty will move him back. It'll be 2nd and about 13. Ball at the East Brunswick 34-yard line. Old Bridge has not attempted a pass yet this morning.
Whoops.
And they call timeout.
They're right. Well, did they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Wow. Just before the right guard there jumped.
So they'll use their 2nd timeout.
Well, I think Borden sensed that there was a little confusion and he is one of the best time managers I've ever seen on the football field.
Was that not Obridge's timeout?
It was
Obridge.
Obridge's
Okay,
timeout,
fine.
but I think the problem was that he was not certain that his quarterback was ready with the plays.
Oh, you said Borden, you meant DeMarco.
I'm sorry, yes. I apologize. Anyway, DeMarco is going to probably throw in a number of plays here. There's a minute 59 left, so and again, we watch how this team can just get chunks of yards. So I'm not sure that that time is even a factor right here.
Jim, let me ask you this. You know, we talked about it several years ago when Madison Central and Cedar Ridge were going to combine, what a superpower they were going to be and whatnot. The truth of the matter, it really hasn't evolved to. We thought they'd be
a superpower.
Well, we thought they'd be one of the premier teams in the state because of that combining of those two schools.
Well,
and that hasn't happened. I tell the truth.
Well, I think the jury's still out on that, but let's look at it. Cedar Ridge really never had a great program. Madison had an excellent program, but we're talking about one township here, Old Bridge Township. You got Piscataway, which continues to be good. I don't think you can expect a team to turn into a superpower.
2nd and 13, ball from at the East Brunswick 34, 1:59 remaining before halftime. Old Bridge leading 6-0. Lansvama looks to throw.
Oh,
and
Kilkenny
almost intercepted by Kilkenny. Great play.
Good play.
I'll tell you,
Dave held his ground.
And Lansvama with his first pass, I believe, of the game.
You know, there's only 11 players on the football field, Phil. Really, when you get down to it.
But when you have more to choose from, Jim, and
well, they're certainly dressed, that's for sure.
3rd down. Lansvama gonna throw it again. Looks. He's got some time. Looks out to the side. He's got Atlack all by himself. Atlack scores.
I'll tell you.
No one was even near him.
I'll tell you, Lansvama showing some great poise for a sophomore.
Really, he stood in the pocket there.
Not only stood in the pocket, looked to the right, looked as if Atlack may have been his second or tertiary receiver there.
And they call timeout again for this point, or the 2-point I think they're going to go for.
So Atlack takes the pass from Lansvama in for the score, making it 12-0. DeMarco calls a timeout and comes out his last.
And not only
.141 on the clock.
Okay, obviously a big play for Old Bridge coming up with that pass there, and sort of silenced the crowd, at least on this side here.
Not on the other side. Those stands are full, and quite frankly, on this side, there's a heck of a lot of people as well.
It's a nice crowd, good crowd for a Thanksgiving Day game. You like to see it.
And it legitimizes, you know, there's a lot of question whether or not a game should be played on Thanksgiving. Both of these teams, for as long as I can remember, either one of them have been involved in the Central Jersey Group 4 playoffs, which are played the Saturday before Thanksgiving. And you know, you have to question whether or not there's wisdom in playing this game. But I think with the crowd you see here today, I don't think there's any question about it.
So we assume that Old Bridge will go for 2. And that's what they will do. And you've got to be impressed with this young sophomore, Lansvama, 5'8", 135 pounds. And there he goes. He's rolling right. He's looking to throw it. Still on his feet and throws it to Kilkenny, so that'll nullify any 2-point conversion. But the Knights are on top, 12-0. East Brunswick will have some time left on the clock here before halftime to see if they can get on the board.
And do they have all their timeouts left?
East Brunswick does, I believe.
Okay. That's hard to figure out on that pass play. I think Atlack was intended to be the just the scat back, and then he was able to get free. They really just flooded the zone with a lot of receivers that time.
They did, but again, Lansvama was the impressive thing in that. Clearly, he looked right. Whether Atlack was the intended receiver or not, looked right, looked to the middle, then came back to the left and got the pass off, and led him perfectly.
East Brunswick puts Kilkenny back deep. Whalen and Quan in the up men.
So this is Slezak.
Ball kicked on the ground. Whalen will field it at his 18-yard line.
He's got some room.
And he slips down as he crosses the 30.
And he's okay.
Short of the 35. So East Brunswick will have it. 1:32 on the clock. 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line.
And I think Justin Klein is about to go in the game. And Justin Klein is, of course, the passing quarterback and getting an opportunity. What the Bears are saying, we are going to put the ball up right now. And you can look for Mr. Wolf and Kolakowski and those receivers.
And Kilkenny out to the left.
Kilkenny as well.
It's a shotgun.
Klein, number 11, is in. He's got some time. Throws it down the middle.
Oh,
Kilkenny's right there. First down as East Brunswick crosses midfield.
And I'll tell you, Marcus Borden pulling out all the stops there. Clearly, this is something they prepared for.
No huddle.
And you're right, putting Kilkenny out as a receiver as well. Showing great ingenuity. And
ball at the Old Bridge 48, first down. Klein is number 10. Klein looks to his left, throws it out there and throws it short.
Okay, just a little short there. Kilkenny slipped down, but it would have been short anyway. Justin, also known as the Juice, not having a whole lot of time to warm up, but he's got to get in gear. He's got his opportunity right here.
Listed as 6'2", 141. A senior.
He's a senior, and he's got to try to make the most of it.
1 minute left on the clock. East Brunswick with its timeouts. Ball at the Old Bridge 47, 2nd and 10. Bears trailing 12-0. Klein juggles it a bit, looks, he's got Kolakowski. Kolakowski has the first down. That'll stop the clock.
And I'll tell you, gentlemen, Jim, what I said before, Middletown South beat this Old Bridge team by going to the air. So you got to take what they'll give you.
Bears quickly on the ball. Kilkenny and Kolakowski to the right, Wolf to the left, Quan in the slot.
A lot of time.
49 seconds. Klein out to Kilkenny, who can throw it from there. He will.
Oh, mercy.
Quan wide open, intercepted.
21 is...
Who is it?
Mike Pisa.
And
I'll tell you, Mike Pisa just stepping right in front of the Woodbury receiver there. It looked like a fine play developing there, and Mike Pisa came in from his safety spot and just picked it off. Just a fine play.
So Old Bridge snuffs out the Bear drive. They'll have 32 seconds.
that was a well-conceived play anyway. Just didn't reach it.
I'll tell you, look, it created a little excitement here, though. And what your thoughts are, you got to wonder, you know.
I think they might go to Klein in the second half.
Will they go to the passing game exclusively?
Oh, I think they need to.
Lanzafama goes down to a knee. 25 seconds, clock running.
I think that's going to do it unless East Brunswick calls timeout.
I don't think so, Jim. I think they're going to go back to basics the second half. Kilkenny can pass the ball, and if they need to go to this that formation again to put the ball back up again, they'll do it. But I think you're going to see them go back to their old standards coming out the second half.
I don't know, it was exciting for a moment. I like it. And that's halftime here at East Brunswick High. The Bears trailing 12-0.
Well, it was an up and down half. East Brunswick, a lot of turnovers, unfortunately. That's plagued them all season long. But they've been rather imaginative a couple times. And that's what you need to do. You have to give as Phil said, what the defense is going to give them. And they tried anyway.
Well,
I like coming out with Klein the second half.
You do. I don't think you're going to see it. I think you're going to see them, as I say, go back to the basics.
You're probably right.
Hope to establish. It's the second half. They're only down 12 anything. Hope to get their game going. Kilkenny can pass, and then if need be, they'll, when they're going to pull out all the stops, you may see Justin Klein come back in there again.
Well, all that speculating, we'll be back to start the third quarter and see if any of us are right in just a moment. Well, we welcome you back to the second half of the East Brunswick-Old Bridge Thanksgiving Day game. As we mentioned, this game closes out the 1995 high school season. East Brunswick came in with a 5-3 record, Old Bridge 7-2. The Bears trailing 12-0. And I think the temperature is dropping just a little bit, guys.
Just
yeah,
a
it is.
little bit.
A little cool. 12-0 the score. Old Bridge scoring 2 touchdowns, one on the fumble recovery by number 22, Bobby Avegas, who pounced on a fumble in the end zone by Danny Lanzafama, the quarterback, who's been doing an excellent job, by the way. And they didn't convert the point. It was 6-0 with 1:12 left to go in the first period. And then Old Bridge comes back shortly before the end of the second period when Atluck ran under a nice pass by Lanzafama, who stood in the pocket. Old Bridge is not a passing team, generally speaking, but the sophomore really did a nice job, and Atluck just stepped into the ball, ran into the end zone with 1:41 left, and 2-point was not good, so it's 12-0.
The Bears will receive the second half kickoff.
And shall we watch to see what type of offense they're going to have, right, Phil?
That's for sure, and I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this.
Okay. Well, you see Klein throwing the ball down there, Phil.
Ball's kicked out to Kilkenny. He feels it at about the 12-yard line. He's got a hole right up the middle.
Oh.
Dave Kilkenny gets nailed as he gets close to the 40.
Good tackle. Good hit by Hoey.
Hoey again, jeez.
Yeah, he's a man.
Right, he's a man.
He's a man.
He's a man-child.
He's a heck of a wrestler, too.
So the Bears will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line.
Look who's that quarterback.
Oh, Phil Hill wrong here, folks. Justin Klein, the juice is in. Let's see.
Here we go, Klein.
Shotgun all the way with a couple of other wrinkles. 4 lined up.
Wide receivers left and right. Klein looks, gets it away to Whalen. Whalen slips.
And he's down.
He
and he's actually lost yardage.
Yeah. Well, this is going to give Old Bridge something to think about.
Well, again, I hate to repeat myself, but Middletown South passed all over this Old Bridge team. Marcus Borden has made the decision that if we're going to beat them, we're going to go to the air.
No huddle for East Brunswick. 2nd and 10. Klein looks.
Good play.
Kolakowski in the middle, wide open.
That was an excellent play.
And just short of the first down.
I tell you.
So it'll be 3rd and about 1.
Well, a lot of attention was given to Kilkenny, who was running an out route, and that allowed, this is a 3rd down.
3rd and about 1 at the 49-yard line.
And they're still going to throw.
Klein looks, flag is thrown, 2 flags are down. Klein drops the ball.
I'll tell you.
We may have a first down on the recovery. Let's see.
Flag's going to be a determining factor here.
Donald Petit coming up with the tackle there and jarring the ball loose, but as you point out, there are flags.
Motion against the Bears.
Oh, okay. Would have been a first down.
So that'll move him back 5 yards.
And I'll tell you, to Marcus Borden's credit, we talk about if you give Marcus more than a week to prepare for a team, he's going to come up with something. And this package clearly was prepared by Borden in case it was needed. He feels it's needed now, and they're out there trying to execute it.
3rd and 6 from their own 44. Bears trailing 12-0. Klein to Kilkenny. Kilkenny will sidestep one tackler. Gets to the outside, and he's got the first down. Dave Kilkenny.
And I tell you, you know what really set that up? Just the hesitation there. If you remember the pass before when Klein passed out to Kilkenny, Kilkenny passed off that. This time Kilkenny decided to keep it and picked up that all-important first down there.
So the Bears move into Old Bridge territory. 1st and 10. They trail 12-0. Start of the 3rd quarter. Klein stays in that shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. Klein looks quickly, gets rid of it, and
mercy.
Quan wasn't looking for it.
I'll tell you, just behind him, and dangerous pass there.
Well, the situation with this offense, a lot of it now is going to be reaction and reading, okay? And the receivers have to be aware of what the quarterback's going to do. And that type, Quan was just not ready for it. So there has to be excellent communication here.
Okay.
2nd and 10. Klein drops back, getting pressured. A little screen set up.
Mercy.
And Quan unable to get to it.
Well, that was the intention. Just didn't develop, though.
And once again, Donald Petit blown in there. And Petit, I know a little bit about him. Of course, Donald, the son of Donald, a good player himself at South River. And he's about 205, and they tell me he's quite a prospect there. Several Division I's looking at him.
He almost did it. He almost went through the whole game without mentioning South River.
I'm talking about Oak Ridge player, if you don't mind. Okay?
3rd and 10 for the Bears.
No, he really deserves
Klein
it, too.
being pressured, throws it out to Kolakowski, and he'll lose yardage, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And Petit was in there again.
And Petit's in there again, and like I said, he's that type of player blown in there, disrupting matters there. But,
well, this is his type of game now because they know it's a passing situation. They're going to be coming with their ears pinned back.
Well, looks like a punting situation, actually. We'll see what East Brunswick does.
Well, I'll tell you, they've been passing so far. Kilkenny is the quarterback. Kilkenny can throw the ball. Might they surprise Old Bridge here?
4th and 11. No surprise, the punt's away.
It's a good one. Oh, took a bad bounce.
There's a little hit in the back there. No harm.
And so Old Bridge will have it 1st and 10.
Oh, that sort of died, that punt. I thought he was going to get a nice roll there, but it hit the ground and did nothing. Well, it's a little more exciting watching this offense, wouldn't you say?
Well, it certainly gives you a different look. You're right. The unexpected.
Lanzafama brings him back out again. He's led that offense. And he's led him to a 12-0 score. Marquette. Marquette still on his feet as he gets close to the 30. Picks up about 5.
And Marquette coming up, brushing off the tackle by Quan, and as you said, picked up some good yardage there.
2nd and 5 from the 29. Atlack with the ball. Atlack still on his feet and falls forward after a pickup of about 3. So it'll bring up 3rd down for the Knights.
Okay, they are going to need to stop them right here.
3rd and about 3. Inside handoff. I think it was Marquette. It looks like he's got the first down.
Surged enough to get the first down.
And I tell you, for both of these teams, actually, they're going to give an MVP trophy to most outstanding player, offensive and defensive player, for both East Brunswick and Old Bridge. And right now, quite a few players competing for that.
First and 10. Inside handoff. I think it was Atlack with the ball. Picks up a few. Phil, when this offense gets into a rhythm, it's very hard to break up.
And that's why you got to come up with a play. What do you do? Somebody shooting a gap or something. You got to come up to sort of get them out of their rhythm.
2nd and 8. Ball spotted at the Old Bridge 38-yard line. Atlack hit right there.
At that time.
And that's a play.
One of the few times that East Brunswick has been successful in tackling a runner in the backfield today.
And
Feigenwinter was there.
Feigenwinter and Scott Hops as well. And that's what I'm talking about. Come up with the play to sort of get them out of the rhythm there, and they can't keep up that momentum.
3rd and 10, a loss of 2.
And this is traditionally Old Bridge would stay true to themselves and stay in the wishbone here, but it looks, you might see a pass come off here.
Lanzafama keeps, tries to pitch back. Ball's on the ground. East Brunswick's got it. First down, East Brunswick on the recovery at the 30.
Feigenwinter is the one on top of it.
Feigenwinter is just.
No, I'm sorry. It's not.
It's Quan, I believe.
Yes.
Matt Quan coming up with the big recovery there. But Feigenwinter's been having an exceptional game, as he has all year. And Matt Quan coming back off of injuries. Glad to be back in the offense and defense, coming up with a crucial recovery right there.
Big play for the Bears. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Old Bridge 30. 6:15 showing here in the 3rd quarter. Bears trailing 12-0 rather. Klein remains at quarterback out of the shotgun. Steps, looks. He's got a man downfield. That's Kilkenny. Kilkenny inside the 20 to the 15.
And I'll tell you,
they're just flooding the zone with receivers.
They're flooding the zone there, but when they look back on the films, they're going to look at Kurt Shramovitz. Kurt Shramovitz picking up a big block on Petit, enabling that play to go. Nice job.
They'll spot it at the 16. 1st and 10 for East Brunswick. Klein looking left. Looks for a man over the middle, wide open. I believe that was Wolf, number 81. And Wolf is down close to the 7-yard line.
Wouldn't be surprised to see DeMarco call a timeout here.
Kurt Wolf's been one of the top receivers. I think he comes in this game with 3 touchdowns.
A little bit of confusion on Old Bridge's part.
They're going to mark it at the 8. 2nd and about 3 for the first.
And they huddle now, so could be a running play.
Klein looks to his right. Throws over the middle.
Oh,
touchdown, Kolakowski.
Nice play. Very
Klein
nice
to
play.
Kolakowski for the score.
I'll tell you, Justin Klein coming up with the big play there, hitting Kolakowski, cutting across the middle.
How about that for a drive, huh?
I'll tell you, number 10 to number 11, and I'll tell you, no matter what, you got to give Marcus Borden a lot of credit. Prepared for this here, had a surprise for everyone today, came out with the passing game here. Right now it's paid off, and if you're Old Bridge, you're back on your heels.
Bettis for the extra point to bring East Brunswick within 5.
This is a big kick point after.
Klein holding. Kick is blocked.
Looked like number 30 coming in there for Old Bridge. Looked like Jason Smith coming in to make that block.
Well, this makes it interesting, doesn't it, guys?
It certainly does.
I like this idea of opening up the offense. Let it happen. Klein's doing a good job. They've got Old Bridge back on their heels. And they're moving the ball.
And it's a different game. That's
right.
That's
exactly.
the fact.
Well,
it's
now,
a different game. What you just got to hope is that the enthusiasm from the offensive movement will carry over to defense, and and then we got a game.
All right.
So the Bears are on the board, 12-6 with 5:08 remaining, 3rd quarter.
Well, if you believe in momentum, East Brunswick has it now. Let's see, as Phil mentioned, the defense can come up big.
Bettis
Turnovers
will
have been
kick
a
it off.
factor. Excuse me, John. I think turnovers have definitely been a factor in this game.
Bettis puts a foot on it. Good kick.
Yeah, it's going to get a bounce.
Goes back. Marquette picks it up at the 15. Goes right up the middle. And
Boom.
Marquette brings it close to the 38-yard line.
He had a momentarily little seam there.
I'll tell you again, and Kolakowski coming up off the bottom of that pile.
So now it's up to the East Brunswick defense
Right,
to see if they can hold here.
Guys,
Defense has
Marquette's
gotta
still
do his
down,
job.
looks like. He is still down. He took a big hit. Is it the leg? They're looking at a knee. That could be trouble for Obridge.
And Marquette, just the hard running back, 5'6", 155-pound senior. And he's done the job for a number of years there.
Well, Phil, I remember when this guy came in,
Right.
he was a
Transfer.
new student from
Right.
Arizona.
Right.
And nobody knew too much about him, but I'll tell you what, he really made an impact in the first couple of games and has been hurt this year. He's up now, walking off the field all right.
and it looks like he's okay.
Old Bridge will have it 1st and 10 from their own 38. Their lead has been cut in half. Atlack.
Oh!
There he goes.
He
Kilkenny the only
could
one.
Go!
He's going to catch him.
Oh,
Hey.
the way, he's gone. I'll tell you, just
One play.
a quick hit right up the middle there, and it is a touchdown. Matt Atlack, the senior who's been performing for 3 years, comes through with a big play right there.
62-yard touchdown run. Hard to figure out.
Well, we just talked about the need for the defense to back up the offense and come up with a big series there, and it's still early. You got 4:36 left in the third quarter, but clearly that took some of the winds out of your sails.
Right, and they're going to go for a kicking point after rather than 2 points. Atlack's second touchdown of the day.
Zizak on for the extra point. And he gets it through. So Old Bridge, with Atlack going 63 yards for the score, makes it 19-6.
And we got a lot of people up here. We got Coach Vanilla up here. We want to congratulate him on a fine season, 6-1, I believe, for the 8th grade team, and he and Pazinko did a fine job there. So congratulations. All right. And then, of course, we got leftovers from East Brunswick. That's my buddy.
Well, there's fortunately a lot of time on the clock. 4:36 left in the third
A lot
period.
of time. If you're Old Bridge, you got to be a little apprehensive about defending against this passing. Again, Middletown South ate them up passing, and Justin Klein has come out and really has them reeling. They've made their adjustments to pick up Petit. As I mentioned, Shramovitz doing a nice job the last go-round to pick him up. If they can keep Petit off of Klein, we got a game.
Kick is on the ground, fielded by Kolakowski at his 25. And
trying to strip that ball.
We'll get up to about the 37. And that's where the Bears will take over. 1st and 10.
Okay, and here we go.
Klein comes back out.
Okay.
Clock showing 4:20, third quarter. Bears down by 13. Klein looks, gets it over to Kilkenny.
Oh.
Kenny slides by a few tacklers, still on his feet.
Oh, mercy.
And picks up about 9 yards.
I'll tell you.
Every play, they're trying to go for the ball.
Just a fine effort. And again, Stramovitz on Petit there. Didn't quite stop him, but slowed him down. And that is the big adjustment there.
2nd and about 1. Ball at the East Brunswick 48.
It's a good observation, Phil. Petit really can cause a lot of problems for the quarterback.
Klein looks, pumps, pointing, and throws low to Kolakowski.
Just a little short, just a little short.
And maybe have done that on purpose because they were well covered. Still a 3rd and short here.
Well, Klein appears to be more of a drop-back type passer than a rollout type passer. Doesn't seem to be as comfortable when he's rolling out. But if you give him some time and he can drop back and get his feet set, he'll put the ball there. Rolling out, it looks a little bit uncomfortable.
3rd and 1.
Whew.
Klein.
He's got it.
He's got his man, Van Wagenen. 1st down. And they move into Old Bridge territory.
And they are moving the ball.
I see DeMarco yelling at the official on the sideline there. Not quite sure what that's about.
Ball at the Old Bridge 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for East Brunswick. Klein looks to his right, throws.
Oh!
Kilkenny slips.
I'll tell you, a lot of slipping going on out here. We saw Whelan's slide here earlier. Kilkenny's feet just slid out from under him, but the ball is right there.
2nd and 10.
Phil, you think it's worth trying anything deep here?
Well,
looks like Klein can reach him.
Well, we know he can throw the deep pass. If you go back to the Edison game, we know he has the ability to put it up there. The thing is getting the time.
And we're going to have motion. East Brunswick jumping. It looked like an Old Bridge man moved into the neutral zone. They're going to say, they're going to call it against the Bears.
Well, John, it's just 5 more yards, and it's sort of like I guess when you were in school, when I think that time you came home with an E, you said, well, it's just as if you're gonna do poorly, you might as well get the E if you rather than the C. So you just got to make it up some kind of way, Jim.
Really? Don't tell that to my 11-year-old.
Klein looks over the middle, intercepted.
Oh, mercy. Let's see.
Well, they were ready for it.
And I'll tell you, hey, if you want me to vote for Old Bridge Defensive Player of the Game, it's Ryan Hoey, without a doubt.
Yeah,
a lot of people have been doing a job for him. You can make a case for Petit and Esser and a lot of other people, but the Defensive Player of the Game, as I see it, is Ryan Hoey. He's done everything for the night defense.
So Old Bridge will take over on their own 43 after the interception. Lanzafama looking to throw, and Quan drops him.
I'll tell you, surprise.
And Lanzafama had all he could do to hold on to that.
And you got to wonder why DeMarco would come out passing here, other than the element of surprise. You think what they want to do now is control that ball like they so often do, and eat up some time.
Phil, my guess is that's the last pass attempt for Old Bridge, unless they're behind in this game. Atlack gets up to the 40. And so it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Okay, Serapin and Hobson on that tackle.
3rd and about 12.
Well, yeah, somebody's got to come up. They're not punting yet, fellas.
They thought it was 4th down.
3rd down, let's...
kick.
Oh, you know, they're smarter than we are.
That's true,
you know,
really.
Let me,
Whalen at the 25.
Isn't that something?
let me tell you, Rich Whalen is an excellent student, and they're just smarter than we are. And give Borden credit, too. They were going back for the quick kick there. They pulled it off once.
Yeah.
We're telling them to come up because it's third down, but they were prepared for it. And this way did not allow that ball to roll down.
Yeah, like it did the last time down
like
to the
it did
5.
before, right. So good heads up. Well coached for what Old Bridge might do. Good play.
It turns out to only a minute and a half elapsed with that possession. So,
Well, the Bears have it back.
yep.
They have a minute 30 left in this quarter and the entire fourth quarter. They trail 19-6. Klein looks.
Double pump.
And just short of Kilkenny.
All right. The thing you want to look at is see, you got to wonder what the interception might have done to his confidence there. If you're in a rhythm there and you keep moving, you got it going.
Phil, there's
feel pretty good.
You say that there a package has been brought in here, but I can see that there's a lot of new plays going on as they go along.
Of course.
That stop and go by Kilkenny was designed to, because Old Bridge is coming up close.
2nd and 10. Klein looks inside. Kolakowski's got it.
Ooh.
He's got room too.
He's got the whole middle of the field.
Go! Oh!
Kolakowski.
No way! Kolakowski!
And that's going to make it interesting. 71-yard touchdown pass play.
Klein to Kolakowski.
I'll tell you, they just have the Knights are off balance trying to defend them defensively. And again, Justin Juice Klein coming up with another connection to Kolakowski, who took it how far, Jim?
71 yards.
Mercy.
His second touchdown of the afternoon.
Hey, you're maybe looking at the offensive player of the game right there.
There you go.
No telling.
Well, let's see.
The Bears is now within 7.
And they're going for 1, which is the right play here. If fortunate to score again, a touch point after would give them the lead.
Bettis had the first attempt blocked. Gets through this one.
That's good.
And it's 19-13. The Bears trailing by 6.
Hey.
We got a game, gentlemen.
Yes, yeah. Really. So you can see that Old Bridge is not really prepared for this.
Not have difficulty with the passing game. And again, to the Bears' credit,
How about that offensive line?
And the offensive
They're
line
really doing a great
but
job
rolling,
of just giving
that's
them
right,
enough time
stopping
to
the
talk.
blitz, but they're rolling the dice, decide to come out with this package, and it is working. And there's a story in there, too. Let's talk about Justin Klein for a minute. The young man started out the year where he's thought to be the starting quarterback. Marcus decided to go back to the E-bone. Therefore, Kilkenny became the quarterback. Had a little switch off there, but he took it well, stayed on the team, bided his time till he was able to contribute, and win or lose, he's contributing today. So
Exactly.
you got to feel good for the young fella. His senior, and he's a senior as well. You got to feel good for him.
Well, what a way to finish up his high school career on Thanksgiving Day, throwing 2 touchdown
No
passes.
doubt about it, and he's not done yet.
Fine individual effort by Kolakowski. Once he was able to get that pass, he utilized his speed to break through, and he just outran that secondary.
Bettis to kick it off. Bears down by 6 now, 19-13. Bettis, a little chip shot. Ball's on the ground, that'll be it. Dare we say it's up to the East Brunswick defense again?
Well, they
Still a lot of time
there's
here.
still a lot of time. They got to do the job. Bend a little bit, but don't break. It'd be ideal if they'd stop them all together.
Well, I still maintain that getting after Lanza-Fama is the way to go here. They really have to create some havoc on that quarterback. He's 135 pounds, and he's already got a bang.
Ooh,
Marquette.
I'll tell you, a driving force, and that's what it's about. No matter what your size, keep the legs turning. He's got some power, and again, picked up about 8 yards.
And that he did. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the Old Bridge 33-yard line.
Ooh, at that time.
Marquette one more time.
He lost something, I
I'll
think.
tell you.
Yes. Who was that?
Scott Bettis.
Yes.
Bettis coming in first with the initial hit. A lot of support from the rest of the defense, but Bettis led the charge.
2nd and 2 is a lot, 3rd and 4 is a lot different
He
than 2nd
lost
and
2
2.
yards on the play. And this will be the last play of the third quarter.
They might get it off.
Atlack.
Oh!
And Atlack gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
And did he get enough for the...
Oh, I'm sorry. He's up close to the first down, actually.
No, this is going to be close.
I think he has it, gentlemen.
Yeah, okay.
That'll end the third quarter of that play. And they're going to give the first down to Old Bridge. So at the end of 3 at East Brunswick High School, it's the Bears 13, Old Bridge 19. But East Brunswick back in this game with a wide open passing offense.
Well, it's certainly been exciting ball this afternoon, and this is the time you want to do this. The Thanksgiving Day crowd, you got a lot of. As a matter of fact, if you remember homecoming, this is by far larger than the homecoming that they had. You got a lot of people in for Turkey Day to be with family members and stuff, and to put up a good performance or to have a good game like we got going on here is just sort of gratifying. One of the things that starts your day off right.
Not only that, but I think it's a memorable way to end your season. You always look back, if you do have a Thanksgiving Day rivalry, it's the game that you tend to remember more than anyone else. You guys, you know, from South River, New Brunswick.
South River, New Brunswick.
We always remember that.
We spent our days, of course, at Rutgers Stadium, which was really just a great feeling for most of the time. But you're right, Thanksgiving Day games are extra special.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Old Bridge when they come over the ball.
And the Bears know they got to make some plays. We saw a few plays there. Of course, Old Bridge picked up that first down, but prior to that, Bettis came up with a big play there. You're going to have to probably gamble some and make some plays. You don't want to gamble to the point where you're going to allow them to bust one, but
here we go, the final 12 minutes of the game and of the season. Bears trailing by 6. 1st and 10, Old Bridge. Lanzafama down the left side. Keeps it, falls forward, picks up about 4.
And Scott Hopp's coming up to make the tackle.
Pretty much no huddle for the entire afternoon by the Knights.
Jim, is that something they've done all season?
Yes, indeed.
They'll give him 5. We'll call it 2nd and 5.
Counter.
Atlack jumps over a tackler.
Wow, wow, he broke away from one tackle.
Good. Go all the way. Matt Atlack, let me tell you.
Incredible effort.
Just a sensational individual effort. Actually came through the line, jumped over a would-be tackler, bumped off another one, and showed good speed pulling away from David Kilkenny, which you don't see many players do that. So just a brilliant individual effort there by Matt Atlack.
60 yards.
60 yards?
Yep.
Okay.
Atlack goes 60 yards to make it 25-13.
Why do I feel we're not done with the scoring here? Well, 3 touchdowns for the senior. I imagine he's going to get some major consideration.
And they fake it. They go for 2. Atlack's pass is taken by Kilkenny.
Hey, Kilkenny's rather cool and calm with it.
Second time he has picked off an extra point, yeah.
So the Bears will go back on offense. They'll have 11:20 left in the game. They are now down by 12, 25-13.
I'll tell you, Matt Lack came into this game averaging 11 yards per carry, and you got to think he's certainly added to that. Or certainly at his average. And you're right, Jim. You're going to see some more scoring, and I think that's what the people want. We want some excitement no matter what happens. The Bears got to still hang in there and take it to them. And a turnover here and there could really be the big difference.
Well, looks like somebody's turning the switch down on the heat because it is starting to get noticeably cooler here. Exciting game.
Well, guys, we are finishing up, I think, our 12th season of East Brunswick High School football.
Wow.
Jimmy and I still look good. I don't know about Phil.
I'll tell you.
Kick is low. Kolakowski picks it up at the 25.
He has room, does he not? Oh.
And he gets across the 35 to about the 37.
We had Mike Mayfield and Mike Kwinzinski making the tackle there.
So Klein is back in. 1st and 10. We're going to have motion there.
We had 3 people move.
Everyone was moving except the center.
Really.
I'll tell you what that's all about. Eric Malecki, who's returning after being out ill, had the count on on 2, and the rest of the team had it on 1.
And I tell you, it's good to see Malecki back.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you're your senior year, you want to play.
Oh,
and
I'm telling you what a loss he has been for this team. I mean, he was really being counted on. He was a 2-year starter, quality blocker, and I'm telling you, that center position is so important.
It starts
to the
everything,
offense.
Jim. Everything
really
starts
does.
with the center.
1st and 15 from the 37. Klein puts it down deep for Wolf. Wolf's
Oh,
got it.
what a catch!
Hell yeah.
What a catch!
And a
He was
flag.
interfered with, and he still made the catch.
Gorgeous catch. That's concentration there. And as a former receiver, Phil, you appreciate that.
Ah, great catch there, and he just kept his concentration even though he was bumped. We said Wolf comes into this game with 3 TDs, the leading receiver, 4 TD receptions there, and just a fine pair of hands there.
The interference is declined, obviously, by East Brunswick. 1st and 10
And
for the Bears.
Another nice touch by Justin Klein leading him.
Jimmy, the difference was Phil never made those catches.
I understand.
So Klein putting the ball right into Wolf's hands. 1st and 10, East Brunswick. They're at the Old Bridge 39. Klein got it out to Whalen, right side.
And a fine tackle.
Pickup of a couple.
Boy, I'll tell you, Klein is really starting to look comfortable out there, is he not?
He certainly is.
Now he's getting into that rhythm.
Pat Shanks coming up to make a fine tackle on Whalen there.
And I'll tell you what, when this offense works like it does, it is extremely hard to stop. This is a lot, it reminds me a lot of what Perth Amboy showed. We didn't televise that game, but
well,
Amboy did the same thing.
It's the old Bear run and shoot, too, if you remember that.
It kind of is.
Klein looks to his left, being pressured, steps up, puts
nice.
it down the middle, right to Whalen.
Great decision making here.
Whalen
Still on his feet.
close to the 20.
And Pat Shank makes the tackle again, but you're right, Justin Klein doing a masterful job picking out his receivers.
Well, he could have easily run with that ball, but made the best decision and threw it.
1st down, East Brunswick. Ball at the Old Bridge 22-yard line.
Okay.
9:35 remaining in the game. Bears trailing by 12. Klein looks left, throws, got his man. That's Wolf again at the 15.
And Klein just picking them apart here.
He's rifling the ball in
Well, he's
now.
getting more confidence. The more passes he throws, the more confidence he gets. And again, I said, clearly the Old Bridge defense is on their heels. They don't know what to do.
Pickup of about 7. We'll call it 2nd and 3. Ball spotted on the Old Bridge 16-yard line. Klein looks. He's got his man, Kolakowski again. Kolakowski fights his way down inside the 5.
Pat Shanks coming up with the tackle, but not before Kolakowski picked up some good yardage.
1st down and goal, East Brunswick.
I can't emphasize more what the job that offensive line is doing in giving Klein some time. I mean, really, I think it's a combination of Old Bridge being tired, and at the same time, the offensive line is really keeping him out of there.
1st and 10 from the 4-yard line. East Brunswick, actually 1st and goal, rather. Ball snap.
He was trying to call timeout.
And Klein falls on it. Good heads-up play.
Oh, wow. He appeared to be either trying to check off or call timeout. Wasn't looking when the ball was snapped.
Well, he vocalized timeout, and I think Malecki thought that was a signal to hike the ball.
They're very, very fortunate to get the ball back.
Right, and now
with just a procedure call.
I don't know. The way this offense is running, I don't think they really care.
Justin Klein leaned to the right.
Back.
He appeared to be trying to call timeout or either check off there, and that's when the ball was snapped.
And Olbridge calls a timeout.
And fortunate, very fortunate to get the ball back.
Phil, the way I look at it, with 9 yards more to maneuver, I think it gives him perhaps an advantage.
That's one way of looking at it, the way he's been passing.
We have 8:33 remaining in the game. The Bears trailing 13-25. They have it 1st and goal from the 9.
And as you look at the East Brunswick huddle there, you got Marcus Borden in there. And again, no matter what happens, the fact of the matter, he was prepared. He had a secondary plan just in case their offense wasn't going. And this secondary plan has been exciting. No two ways about it. And the game is not over, and they may pull it out yet.
Well, they're going to have to get it in now. Obviously, this is an opportunity they can't afford to miss.
Well, we've had an explosive second half here. It was 12-0 at halftime. Our score now is 25-13. East Brunswick showed a little passing offense right before the half, came back in the 3rd quarter with that same offense, and it's put them back in the game. Atlac has shown 2 magnificent runs.
Just a superior runs, John.
Well, if there's an Achilles heel for the Knights, it's their secondary. And with the quality of the receivers that East Brunswick possesses, with Kilkenny now at wide receiver, Whalen, Wolf, Kolakowski, I'd say it's a pretty good bet they're going to get it in. Let's watch.
1st and goal from the 9 after the penalty. Klein brings them out. They've got 3 receivers to the left. Klein looks left, throws it over.
Oh,
what a catch by Wolf!
What a catch!
Touchdown, East Brunswick.
Oh, Kevin Wolf with a one-hand catch, pulling the ball in and going in for a touchdown. His 4th touchdown of the year.
That'll make it 25-19. And we've had a shootout this second half.
We still have a shootout.
Klein with his 3rd touchdown pass, Phil.
Huh?
That's his 3rd touchdown pass.
That's his 3rd touchdown pass for Justin Klein.
2 to Kolakowski, 1 to Wolf.
Bettis on for the extra point.
I'm telling you, there's a heck of a lot of time left.
8:26 left, exactly. Klein will hold. Good snap, kick is up and to the right. Wow. So the Bears still down by 6. As our score remains 25-19.
Tell you what, that really could have taken a lot of pressure off the Bears if they'd been able to convert that in terms of not having to make the next point. But
well, they're in fine position.
Yeah, they're in decent. I think they'll take this position right now. But twice the defense has been asked to stop Olbridge, and twice Atlac has broken away for long touchdowns runs. This time, I don't think they can afford to allow another one.
No doubt about it, Jim. But again, you got to go back to the offense right now, the job that they've done. Again, Justin Klein, what can you say? A superior job in directing them down the field there.
And guys, I think we'll remember this Thanksgiving Day and Justin Klein for many years to come. What a remarkable story when you think about it. Phil outlined it, but this young man's been sitting on the bench, waiting for his opportunity, never complaining. Got that opportunity this afternoon.
And making the best of it.
And making more than the best of it. He's brought this crowd to life and has brought East Brunswick back into this game. Bettis to kick it off. Here we go. Ball on the ground. Atlac, the one guy you don't want to have it.
You got to watch him.
And they'll have good field position.
Whoa.
They tackle him within the field. He just fell out. But Atlac showing poise and patience there, not taking off, trying to wait for his blockers to see if there was something before he ran.
Olbridge, 1st and 10 at their own 37.
And this is where you wonder where the experience of a sophomore can be a liability, because certainly now the offense for Olbridge has to be in feel the pressure.
Well, this is a rather poised sophomore, Dan Lanzafama.
Calling the signals, no huddle offense as we've described all day. And And we're going to have motion. Atlack was moving forward, so that'll bring him back 5 yards.
And it stops the clock.
And if you're the Bears, you got to believe things are falling your way. They get penalized on their first attempt here. Stops the clock. You push it back. Defense appeared to have done a good job anyway on that run there. So
we mentioned this is for the Route 18 trophy, as they call it.
that's right. Last year, the inaugural year, won by East Brunswick. And East Brunswick trying to hold on to that trophy.
It'll be 1st and 15 for the Knights from their own 32. 8:12 remaining. Lanzafama gives it off to Marquette. He'll get to the 35 and he'll stop there.
And a host of East Brunswick tacklers there. With Angelo Gervivak coming up off the bottom.
Pickup of about 4. It was 2nd and 11. Lanzafama rolls to his left, pitches back. Oh, Marquette, the ball's on the ground. He gets it, but he's going to be lost.
I saw trouble developing as soon as he was caught in the back there.
Scott Hobbs smothers him over on the sideline there, but you're right. It could have been a big opportunity for the Bears to pounce on that ball.
Phil, this is what I'm talking about as far as an inexperienced sophomore. The decision there was to hold on to the ball because he was going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage regardless.
I say. Well,
3rd down and long. Big play.
3rd down, understatement.
Big play.
7:32 on the clock. 3rd and about 15. And movement against.
I'll tell you.
5 more yards
and
go
you're
back.
right, Jim. The Old Bridge Knights appear to be out of sync on this series here. They just don't seem to be in sync. I don't know if it's a question of nerves or what, but at a time when you want to be settled down and in control of everything for an all-important drive, they seem to be out of sync.
You're going to move them back 5 more yards, but certainly this is not the time to relax if you're East Brunswick.
Well, interestingly, Old Bridge ran that play with Atlack, and they want to go to that bread and butter. They're back to their own 28. It's 3rd and 20.
And while most teams would pass on a 3rd and 20, it's not uncommon for Old Bridge to run on a down like this.
Yeah, use the wide side of the field here for an option.
Lanzafama gives off to Marquette.
Good play, they got him.
And it'll be 4th down.
And Whalen coming up with a super tackle.
Whalen, Gehrman was there as well.
Jim, you asked me a while ago about Whalen playing Division I ball, and that's the type of stuff people look for on films.
Right.
You can teach techniques and whatnot, but you can't teach hitting. A kid either wants to hit or doesn't want to hit. Whalen wants to hit all the time, and came up and nailed Marquette there.
Big play.
Well, Old Bridge goes into their first formal punting formation of the afternoon. And East Brunswick will have it. Good kick. Ball's going to go out of bounds around the 38-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He marked it early.
Oh, they're moving up on it.
Going up a little here. That was.
So East Brunswick got ideal field position.
Really?
It's going to be at the 46-yard line, 47-yard line.
Clock really not even a factor yet. 6:46.
And I'll tell you, the crowd should be on their feet right now. I mean, if you know a little bit about football, what you want your crowd on your feet, exhorting your fans on. The Bears have done a fine job to stay in this game here. And, you know, that's what football's about, Jim.
Exactly.
They should be into this game and rooting this team on like crazy.
1st and 10 for East Brunswick. Klein still in there, still chucking. Looks to his left. Some pressure. He's got to go down.
Is that the first time he's been sacked? Okay.
And that's Iser coming in, of course.
Yeah, Esser is...
Esser, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Esser, number 78, coming in to make the tackle. One of those fine defensive linemen. But, Jim, I don't want to belabor a point. And maybe because I went to a state playoff game last week in a certain town, and the crowd was crazy. I mean, it really made the difference when things got down to the wire, and it's part of the football game.
2nd down, a loss of about 6. 2nd and 16. Klein has a tip. Kilkenny has it. Still on his feet. And finally drops as he crosses midfield.
First time Kilkenny's caught a pass in quite a while.
Third down for the Bears. 5:58 remaining.
Boy, if you're Old Bridge, you don't know what to do. You don't know whether to try to stop the first down or look for the long pass here. This is a tough call for the secondary.
They've been having their ends drop off to the flat. I'm surprised instead of keeping the pressure on, Jim.
Yeah, a lot of room in the middle, by the way. A lot of room.
From the Old Bridge 48. Klein looks, throws it out to the right flat. Intercepted.
No!
That'll do it.
Mercy.
And that is number 19, Mike Galante, taking it all the way. Just didn't have a lot of juice on it, did it, Phil?
Justin didn't have the juice on it, which is right. Came up a little bit short there, but give Mike Galante credit there. He stepped right in front of it and took it all the way. Mike Galante.
And
5'7", 155-pound senior, and has made his Thanksgiving.
Yep.
52 yards on the return. Makes it 31-19.
Boy, have we had enough scoring here in this half or what?
Well, I'll tell you, and then you got fans leaving, Jim, and I'm going to say exactly what I feel, because
this is crazy.
You got to understand the nuances of the game, and when the team needs you.
Yeah.
And this drive here, they should have been going crazy on their feet, exhorting the team on and whatnot. And you can't sit by politely.
A lot of people were seated, planted,
and just clap. This is an important time in the game.
Yeah.
I took my son to a game there, and the crowd was going crazy, and he was like, "Hey, this is great."
I'm not used to this.
You know, he's not used to seeing this, and that's the difference. That's all.
But you know, Phil, it's just been that way here a long time in East Brunswick.
We don't mean to be critical, but the fact of the matter is,
You're right.
There's a way for the game to go. And there's a role for the fans to play at a proper time. That's all.
No, you're right.
All right, let's get back to football here.
I don't know what's going on. That's apparently a big thing on the to-do here, making a big to-do over the extra
DeMarco
point.
is, believe me, he always uses his timeouts after points after, because he realizes how important this particular point after could be. I mean, you know, we have a lot, like I say, 5:18. What have we been averaging a touchdown every 2 minutes here?
They'll go for the two-point conversion.
Yeah, this is curious.
Atlack drops his head and is in.
They give it to him.
Atlack had win in motion, and as the motion man, they gave him the ball, and he picked up that 2 points there.
So it's 33-19 now.
By the way, the final score of last year's game was 33-18. So this is interesting.
Well, it's been an exciting game. We've gotten into it, and just a few big plays defensively.
Well, this game is not over yet, but I'll tell you what, they're going to have a tough time deciding who's going to be the offensive, defensive MVPs of this game, because you can. Well, you threw out Ryan Bowie.
Old Bridge is pretty easy, I think. I think Old Bridge offensively, you probably go with Atlack.
Right.
Defensively, you got to go with Hoey. For the Bears here, you got to look at Justin Klein's the job that he did today. Of course, Kolakowski did a fine job himself.
Whalen defense.
Defensively could be Whalen. Fagan Winters, like always, has played a fine game, so they got some people to choose from.
I'd give it to Ritchie. But I think that's the furthest thing from their mind right now.
Well, the Bears will receive the kickoff. Ball's put on the ground. Whalen will pick it up at the 25.
Oh!
And is dropped at the 30.
It's pizza.
Pizza. Macaroni time. He talking about pizza. He smashed them. Mike Pizza. Mike Pizza coming up with a big tackle there.
Well, 5:11 now, huh?
5:11 on the clock. Bears down 33-19.
Let's just go down fighting, gang.
Right.
And if you score, I tell you, passing clock stops after every pass. So if you can get something going there, anything can happen.
Klein puts three receivers to the left. Looks left, pumps, fires, and he's got Kilkenny at the 35.
Each time he's come up with that play for Kilkenny's been diving there off his feet. Right. I'd like to think if he somehow can keep his feet there and get hit there.
Bears go with
Take
no
it
huddle.
further.
Especially with his running ability.
That's right.
Now they'll huddle up.
And the Bears moving out of the huddle rather quickly.
Klein drops back, looks.
Screen.
Little screen to Quan in the center.
Ooh, Pat
And
Shank.
he's going to be close to the first down. He may have it.
Might be
I
a
think the
face mask here.
Yeah,
Let's
I think
see.
you got it. Yep.
Pat Shank coming up to make the tackle, but there is a flag.
No doubt about it. It's a face mask, so they're going to tack on probably 15 more here.
Face
Yes.
mask is called against Obridge.
East Brunswick needs to be ready to go here.
They'll have the ball at the Obridge 45-yard line. 4:13 remaining on the clock. Klein looks left, rolls to his left, being pressured,
Throws
it away.
Smart move.
Bring up second down.
Smart move. Would have been tackled for a loss. Just got rid of the ball and stopped the clock.
Now the Bears need 2 scores. .403 showing now on the clock.
Boy, has he shown me something this afternoon or what? Justin Klein. Not only physically has he been doing well, but just a lot of intelligence I've noticed in the way he's been making plays.
Klein looks left, pumps, throws to the outside for Quan.
Oh,
Wow.
Matt, I think, started to cut inside, and Klein had the idea of him going to the sidelines.
Sort of tight-wristed it there. I think he was a little more loose. He would have connected on that.
3rd and 10.
Okay, they got 2 downs, of course, to get something here, at least to get the first down or get the ball down the field. Surprised they're not throwing to the end zone, to tell the truth.
Now, Wolf and Kolakowski.
Klein looks right, throws it up in the air to Kolakowski. He's got him.
And
he dove. The ball's on the ground.
Let's see if he was down.
official
They're
has
going to say it's Obridge's ball.
Mercy.
Was he not down?
It appeared. I thought he. It was a quick call there.
And Kolakowski is down now. He's hurt.
Well, apparently as he tried to dive for the first down yardage. Well, I think that's going to do it, guys.
No one realizes that he's hurt down there.
Okay, it's Jim Kolakowski down, and
who has had a really great game
just
today.
a great game today, but an outstanding senior year Jim Kolakowski has had, and
he's going to be another one we're going to see on the court.
well, yeah, Bo Henning is hoping that don't let it be an ankle or knee,
Yeah.
Because you're right, he moved right from there to the basketball court. A lot of people in the stands here. A lot of ex-football players. I see Nick Shemansky, one of the greats for East Brunswick there.
I believe he moved on to Monmouth College.
And has had an outstanding year there.
Okay. Jimmy Varick was another one
Jimmy Varick,
who had a great year for Monmouth
leading
College.
the state in scoring right now. Jimmy
Monmouth
Varick
University,
for
excuse me.
Monmouth. I want to say something. Hey, we talked about the nicest jackets at this game here. You got the East Brunswick Independent Fire Company. Without a doubt, the sharpest jackets here. Jimmy was trying to get one for himself, but to no avail.
Well, I'll tell you what, coming from you, who is probably the authority on complimentary jackets and paraphernalia.
I buy some things.
Yeah, not many. And coffee and donuts are one that you don't. We know that.
Well, okay.
Here we see Kolakowski. What a game he's had this afternoon.
Kolakowski, just a fine senior year for.
I think he's a little distraught more than anything else.
Little muscle cramp. They worked on it. He's back on his feet and off as Obridge takes over. And Atlack This kid's like the Energizer
Well,
Bunny.
Atlac is like, you know, I don't know if there's an insurance company called Atlac, but he's your insurance. He's their insurance. You can count on him whenever.
What a reach!
Whenever you need to go something.
You know, we're in the waning minutes of a very long season. And
You go to the Atlac company.
This is a decidedly longer period half than the first one was, which was predominantly running.
That's right.
Wow.
he picked up 6 yards, 2nd and 4, the ball at the Old Bridge 37. Atlac again gets to the outside. And look at his, he's still on his feet.
Look at
oh
his feet
my
still
God.
moving. I'll tell you.
A lot of desire there.
An outstanding performer. And
He's got to be your offensive player.
that's your offensive player. And
Yeah.
Ryan Hoey's your defensive player for them. You got Kolakowski, you got Wolf, you got the Juice for offensive for the Bears. And defensively, you got a number of players you could choose from.
Clock running, 2:40 left in the game. First down, Old Bridge. They're at the East Brunswick 33-yard line. Marquette with the ball.
Oh, wow.
And Marquette
I'll
is going
tell-
to score.
It's through.
I'll tell you, you just really don't want to go out like that. Marquette, both of these backs keeping their legs going and just driving through. And the Bears played too well of a game today, fought too hard to let it go in the last few minutes here. You just don't want to end it like that.
So with 2:25 remaining, Marquette carries it in for the score.
And gives a totally different flavor from what the game was about.
Yeah, really. And Old Bridge with an opportunity to get its 40th point. And when was the last time 40 points were scored on East Brunswick, Phil?
And the kick is good. So it's 40-19.
I'll tell you. Well, the last time 40 or more points were scored against East Brunswick was probably by a Madison Central team, if you think about it. I think was probably on a Halloween
Here.
Halloween night.
I think I remember what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
So I'll tell you, just not a real indication
All right.
of what type of game this was. The score here,
Okay,
like I said.
and I think we can't forget the 1988 Central Jersey Group 4 semifinal between Madison Central and East Brunswick. That was a 55-0 score, if I remember
that's
correctly, or 55-3.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of happenings here. I walked down that halftime, asked Charlie King, who does the football games, announcing here, was this his last game since he's retiring? Of course, they're having a dinner December 6th, retirement dinner for Charlie King. I asked him, would he be still doing the games? He said he had to get permission from Frank Knoppenberger. So you believe that if you want to. He'll still be doing the games.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, onside.
And Old Bridge may have it.
Now,
Onside kick. Did
I
it
have
travel
to-
10 yards is the question.
Well, I have to wonder why they even have an onside kick.
Okay, the
East
Bears,
Brunswick.
I tell you, that would be insult to injury if you're right, Jim. I don't think maybe they were squibbing it and it just
2 minutes and 18 seconds left, a 21-point lead.
Well, the Bears will have it at their own 45.
I don't know. It doesn't appear to be Barb Markle's nature. You never know. You know, Joe Paterno has influenced a lot of people these days. If Joe Paterno can do it, then we all can. But the Bears have recovered the ball.
1st and 10 from their own 45. Klein quickly outside, gets it out
I think that's number
to Van
23.
Wergenen.
Yeah. Who elected to stay inbounds, got the first down.
That's right, Jim. He should have been thinking, well, he did go out of bounds.
Well,
Or
it
no,
stops
just-
with the movement of
Okay,
the
you're right.
chains.
Either way.
And now East Brunswick will take a timeout. And why we have this timeout, Phil, you did mention Charlie King is retiring. Charlie's retiring after 30 years of service to the East Brunswick High School District, or the school district. He was a coach, a teacher, athletic director, and is currently the principal at the high school. And we certainly want to take this opportunity to wish Charlie and his wife and family our very best, and thank Charlie for all the assistance he's given us over the years here at Channel 8.
Indeed.
He was the athletic director when we started this whole venture off some 15 years ago.
Well, the truth of the matter is he's been principal for a number of years now, but athletically for East Brunswick, Charlie King has done as much as anybody in East Brunswick on all sorts of levels. The quality of equipment, and you look at this stadium here and the lights and everything, all that's happened under Charlie King, and he loves sports, and of course his cry is that he'd like to be remembered that he has done as much for girls sports as he's done for boys sports. So in general, for all sports, he'd like to be thought as a winner for that. And a lot of times people don't realize the value, the worth of you until after you're gone. Charlie King has left a legacy here that I think we won't soon forget. Okay.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Bears, 1:54 remaining in this game. Bears at the Old Bridge 43. Klein looks left, throws over the middle. Whalen's wide open, ball's up in the air. They're going to say it's incomplete.
Okay.
Oh, he took a hit.
He took a shot.
Yes, he
and
did.
He's down, and he is down.
That was number 45, Charlie Amato, that administered that crushing hit on. Geez, the way he's down, I hope he doesn't have a leg injury.
Well, I tell you, Rich Whalen is down, and we might as well take the time to talk about it. Rich Whalen is probably one of the most versatile athletes to ever come through East Brunswick school system here. We talked about him on the hard courts. He's led the team in tackles the last 2 years, and is probably the leading tackler again this year. Plays safety, but hits like a linebacker. This year converted him somewhat to offense, where he's done an outstanding job, and more importantly, he's been a leader. I think that's the intangible is the thing that marks Rich Whalen. He's a leader on the basketball court. He's a leader on the football court. You look at the guy, quite an unassuming looking young fellow there, but has a lot of fire burning underneath there. And when you got a guy like Rich Whalen on your team, your teammates will do anything to play with him.
Absolutely. Now it's the his left knee that trainer Phil Hostler is looking at. And hopefully it's nothing more than just a knee strain. And
again, we jokingly said before, Bo Henning's holding his breath when Kolakowski went down, and the same thing with Whalen, and it appears to be, well, we can't tell, but he seems to be all right. It appears to be an ankle slightly.
That's the knee, Phil.
It is the knee?
Yeah.
Well, we just hope it's a slight bruise, and he is walking now.
I would mention, too, that I know Rich's father quite well, went to school with him, and his father was a very
pretty good quarterback, wasn't he?
Excellent quarterback,
yeah.
Outstanding athlete, and I know sometimes when the old man talks, no one believes him, but I'll verify that he was.
He was a good quarterback.
He was. Right. And his son seems to be following his footsteps and being tough and a real competitor.
Probably the end of his football.
Klein looking
East
deep.
Brunswick football career.
Looking for Wolf, deep, incomplete. 1:41 on the clock. So, Jimmy, let's talk a little bit about this team next year. They've got some youth.
Yeah, well, you know, at certain times, Scott Hops was given an opportunity to play quarterback, right. And you have to feel that he's got to be a front runner to win the starting quarterback job. But you always, when you start to rebuild this team, you always have to look at the offensive and defensive lines. And they do have a couple of pieces that they can play with. Joel Serapin is certainly going to be a good lineman for them. But Pete Borden is another one who's seen a lot of crease playing time. They're going to be missing Oliver, Feigenwinter, and Malecki.
East Brunswick calls the timeout. 1:27 left.
And Ryan Hoey with another tackle added to his list to try to get that MVP.
Right.
But the thing about it is, if the truth be known, Jim, each year that we end the season, we think that the Bears may have been depleted, and somehow they come up with young players that have been developed through the system there. And
well, I think
between
Phil
the
also
hard work and between the hard work, they come up to be very competitive.
Well, I think something that has also occurred that we're starting to see more with the bigger schools, such as Old Bridge, East Brunswick, Piscataway, is that there's so many numbers that they tend to gravitate to seniors playing, so that it's just a matter, not that they couldn't play for other programs, they just have to wait their turn.
Right.
So that could easily be the case. Really, there's a number of players on this year's team that I never thought would be as good as they've turned out to be. Kevin Wolf being another one. He just came out of nowhere.
Hard work.
Right.
4th and 2. From the Old Bridge 37, Klein gets it outside to Van Wigenen.
Right, and this time he does get out of bounds.
And that'll stop the clock. I don't think the clock moves. Someone did. Clock never moved, so still showing 121.
And by Van Wiegen, a senior who's, again, contributed.
Score is 40-19. Old Bridge on top. Klein looks down the center of the field, has it knocked away.
Interference, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he had his left arm on his back. Probably not enough to, but he needed to do that in order to get positioned to bat the ball down. So it was a good call. I don't know, John. Looking back on the season when they started out winning 2 games, 45-3 over North Brunswick, and I think it was 35-6 over Perth Amboy. You thought you might have had the beginnings of something special here, and then they ran into that Bishop R game where nothing went right.
7 turnovers that night.
Yeah, maybe that was more indicative of some of the potential problems that seem to exist with.
That was the killer, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that really prevented them from forging ahead. They had a good effort against Piscataway, who's going to be in the Central Jersey Group 4 final, and then, but you know, they're going to finish the season with a winning record.
Klein looks, throws deep into the corner of the end zone, out of bounds.
That was out of everything.
And Borden telling him Bob Van Wiegen on the other side was open, but again.
I think the biggest surprise for me was this season was seeing how Woodbridge just handled them. I wasn't expecting that.
Woodbridge was a very physical team, and I think you're right. They just boo.
Well, we don't have our camera on it, but on the bench right is Kolakowski and Whalen, and again, those were 2 excellent seniors that did well.
Coachman gets down to the 1-yard line.
Coachman, anytime he's had an opportunity to get the ball, he's gotten it. That's that much you can say about him. They haven't thrown at him a whole lot, but anytime it's been thrown his way, he has caught the ball. And you're right, you look at them seniors, Kolakowski and Whalen, and the other guy you got to feel for is Simonello. Again, his senior year, last game, the young man really wanted to play in this game and got that infection that kept him out, but he's had a great season. He's the captain of this team, and we wish him well for the track season.
And wouldn't you like to see him get another score in here before this game ends?
From the 1, Klein looks to his left, throws, off the hands of Van Wigenen.
It was right there.
Yes, it was.
Right there. And you say Justin Klein has 3 touchdown passes?
2 to Kolakowski and 1 to Wolf.
So if he throws one here, I believe he ties it. He puts himself up there at the big boy. He ties the school record if he throws the 4th one that goes down in the books with a number of the big boys. And he takes it himself.
Score it himself.
There he is.
I think that's his MVP right there.
Is that the MVP?
Yes.
I tell you.
Good call. Again, intelligent calling all afternoon by Klein.
And I tell you, if you're Justin Klein's parents and whatnot, you've endured, and just to sit here and for your son to have I
have a feeling the VCR is going to be running when this game is played. They're going to want to save this one.
But just a fine performance for the young man, making the most of the opportunities when he has them. And that's the name of the game.
It's a nice storybook ending to a good season. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy and I were just looking, Phil, that Gray Colheim had 4 touchdowns against Monroe and Brian Forte 4 against Stevens. So had he thrown one, he would have tied.
Well, let me include the company that Klein's going to find himself with. Troy White had 3 against Piscataway. Steve Hughes twice. Colonian Stevens, Billy Logan, Mike Neal, Steve Steitler, Ron Shabaro, and Chuck Boyd. All 3 touchdown passes, and Justin Klein finds them in the book.
No Forte?
Forte had 4.
4.
Ooh.
So Klein, the two-point conversion, the old...
Chris Bettis.
No, what do they call that? The Bummerooski.
Bummerooski?
Yes,
the
it is.
We've seen everything a good way. And Marcus Bolton has a smile on his face.
But he's looking across the field at DeMarco, too. He's like,
maybe that was for him.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I'll teach you the outside kick on me.
I was going to say, but I will tell you, Marcus Borden and Bob DeMarco are very close friends.
They're close friends,
Right.
but
competitive friends.
competitive,
Yes, they are.
passionate, competitive people, that's for sure.
Well, Bettis wanted to get into the end zone with that.
So with Klein's touchdown in the Bummerooski there, it's 27-40.
And here you talk about onside kick. We know one's coming definitely for here.
27 seconds left in the game.
And perhaps some younger faces now are going to be involved. Well, I'll tell you what, that touchdown and two-point conversion takes a little bit of the sting out of this loss.
Because as you said, that 40 points isn't indicative of the type of game that the Bears had played today.
But I'll tell you what, there's nothing I'd rather do on a Thanksgiving morning than to go to a high school football game.
For sure.
And this was a good one.
Exciting.
Yes, it was.
We saw a lot of everything. It's when was the last Thanksgiving day here?
Here? I'm going to venture somewhere in 84 or 85.
Yeah,
And that's against the Colonia, Jim?
Yeah, I believe so. And onside kick, of course.
They go!
Whoa,
Almost.
It was off
Actually got the hands
Kilkenny.
on
It was right off Kilkenny's pads.
I think Kilkenny hauled up a little bit because he wasn't quite sure the 10 yards.
Yeah, he wasn't the 10 yards.
At that juncture, you got to grab it.
So Old Bridge will run out the final 23 minutes. They'll improve their record for the season to 8-2. East Brunswick will fall to 5-4.
I'm hoping it's 23 seconds, John, because I'm ready to go.
Are you hungry, sir?
I'm ready. And again, John, you mentioned our 12th year. I do want to wish I knew you make that trip down from Hunterdon
County. The wrestling capital of the world.
Okay. But
wait a minute, somebody. Yeah, okay, yeah, they just let the clock go down.
And that's it.
I want to wish you and your family a happy holiday. Jimmy, you too.
Same to you.
Okay.
Phil, Jimmy, it's been a pleasure. 12 years. We've had a lot of fun. Our final, East Brunswick falls 27-40 to Old Bridge. The Route 18 Trophy Series is now tied 1 game apiece. We also should take a moment to thank our guys over here helping out, Dave and Pete. It's been a great season. I enjoyed working with you guys. And we hope the people here at Channel 8, stay with us. The winter sports are coming up, basketball, wrestling especially. And we hope that we'll see you here on Channel 8. So for everyone involved with Channel 8 and bringing you these games these past several months, have a happy Thanksgiving and thanks for being with us. Same formation as they ran the last time they had 4th down. Same play, actually.
It is the same play.
Lanzafama turns the corners, got the first down, fumbles the ball.
Oh!
Lanzafama gonna throw it again. Looks, he's got some time. Looks out to the side, he's got Atlack all by himself. Atlack scores.
I'll tell you.
Klein looks to his right. Throws over the middle.
Oh, yes!
Kolakowski.
Nice play.
Atlack.
Oh!
There he goes. Kilkenny, the old
Good.
son.
Go.
He's going to catch him.
Oh,
Right.
no way. He's gone.
2nd and 10. Klein looks inside. Kolakowski's got it.
Ooh.
He's got room, too.
He's got the whole middle of the field.
Go. Oh,
Kolakowski.
no way. Kolakowski.
And that's going to make it interesting.
Klein looks left, throws it over. What a catch by Wolf.
What a catch.
Touchdown, East Brunswick. From the Old Bridge 48. Klein looks, throws it out to the right flat.
Oh,
Intercepted.
no.
That'll do it.
Mercy.
And that is number 19, Mike Galante.
First down, Old Bridge. They're at the East Brunswick 33-yard line. Marquette with the ball.
Oh, wow.
And Marquette is going to score.
It's through.
I'll tell you. And he takes
Klein
it
is going to
himself.
score it
Wow.
himself.
There he
Well,
is.
I think that's his MVP right there.
That's the MVP.
Yes.
I tell you.
Good call.